guess I want to talk about just these past 4 days and how inspiring for me, on the one hand, it has been to meet so many warm, loving individuals who have really obviously taken up a lot of deep work in their fields and have given a huge amount to their communities.
For me, I always say to people, having tried Buddhism and different things, I just found working with Anthroposophy, the more I do it, the better it is. I mean, it's one of these things that keeps growing for me or keeps deepening for me, and I just never found anything like that before. So it continues to be a wellspring.
Ditto.
Just as anthroposophists may be, as came up in one of the discussion groups today at the conference, or yesterday I guess it was, feel a bit shy about standing and just representing anthroposophy. Sometimes eurythmists feel that a little bit too, that, oh, well, we have to kind of keep our light under a barrel and make sure that it stays protected. But no, our experience has been every time that we've tried to take it out, that it's actually that there's an openness and a receptivity to it if we have the courage to stand there.
So this is really where Anthroposophy enters in for me, because it's this capacity to understand that we are telling ourselves a story about what we're finding out in worlds beyond our own. And when we impose our own consciousness as it is defined by time and space in the physical world on that world beyond this one, then we're creating an environment for ourselves that's not necessarily as whole as it could be. And so in my work, I start always with the human being on the earth is the one that's making this kind of discovery and is giving its once upon a time to that.
We talk about elemental beings and hierarchies and world evolution in these courses. And even though people have not even heard the name Anthroposophy or can't pronounce it, they take that information with great gratitude.
The changing in the world takes place in the little things. It may not be some huge thing, but in just a little way, in little seeds that we plant in the world as anthroposophists, maybe through our work, just people that we come in contact with every day in daily life, a stranger.
The slogan for Waldorf education is to receive the child in reverence, educate the child in love, and send the child forth in freedom. And in that is a little nugget of everything we're after in Waldorf education, to take children in and on, like the lecture that we just saw, like little seeds waiting to unfold, with their senses cultivated deeply and broadly and integratedly so that they can meet the world with real competence and confidence and joy. And out of that, then they can realize, oh, this is what I want to do in my life, and have a purposeful feeling.
To meet another human being, to meet the nature. These are the two things which everybody needs. Everybody meets another human being. And it's in spite of the profession. So this is actually the ground also to the future, because we are so much losing actually the connection between human beings, and that is the central here on the earth, the connection to another human being,
and how the spirit works into
that.
And we are really, in a sense, a branch, but also we are in a small adult education center in New York City. We work also with the Open Center, and we are really doing programs several times a week and have, a public following, so to speak. People come who've been part of the anthroposophical world, and people who come who have no idea about that but are just interested in the topic.
And I have to say that whether it was Katrina or the seeds were being laid before that, but somehow there has developed in New Orleans, mostly in response to Katrina, the idea that everything was lost. As I said, the social structure, the economic, the cultural, the physical, was devastated with nothing there. And what didn't work at that time was government and economics and support from structured entities. What did work was humanity to humanity. What came was people interested in helping other people who were seeking any support they could get.
Rudolf Steiner points out that in the beginning, when he started coming out with the worldview of anthroposophy, he considered it enough if people would take up the ideas and read his books and his lecture cycles. But then came a phase where it was all connected to arts, and then came the phase where he said it has to go into doing. And he even makes the comment at one point that it is just not enough anymore to only think anthroposophy. You have to manifest it in everyday practical life.
Eurythmy is the best tool to help digest and embody the concepts of anthroposophy. When I began, I had no intention of becoming a eurythmist, none. My intention was to do eurythmy for just a year, because as a newcomer to anthroposophy, I felt that for me personally, anthroposophy would never become something living if I only studied it, if it only stayed in the realm of cognition for me, of thoughtfulness. As interesting and wonderful as that was, I felt that unless I did it, unless I did something in my body, it wouldn't be very deep.
Educating families about the choice that we all have to care for someone who has died right after the death, and creating a home vigil for someone that we love. And all of this came out of my experience of anthroposophy when my daughter died. That just gave so much to me to be able to experience death in a different way. And so in my work, I hope to be able to help people to experience death in a different way as well.
I've been doing eurythmy with nurse midwives, farmers, chemists, teachers, financial people, and all the business managers and the bosses say that everybody is much more energized when they come out of doing eurythmy. Right, yeah. And they meet in a different way. They meet each other in a different way.
The smallest group we ever had was 8 in Miami, Florida. And I asked a speaker there to go there who liked working with small groups. And I said, I can almost guarantee it will be a small group. And he said, wonderful. And so we had 8, and we've had as many as just about 50, which is pretty amazing for communities that aren't so huge.
As the Anthroposophical Society expands its relational capabilities with members through electronics, it's going to provide an opportunity for the library to do more crowdsourcing. For example, we will know who subject specialists are in different areas. We can farm out research questions. We can broadcast research questions and then see what comes in and all learn from that. So I find that very, very exciting as an opportunity and a vision for expanding our service to members.
One of the prisoners who's been working, maybe doing the exercises for a little while, and another inmate will come up to him and say, well, what's going on with you, man? You're much calmer. You don't get upset at a crack or anything like that.
Yes.
What's going on with you, man? Well, this is what I'm doing. Want to try it? So it spreads that way.
What we're trying to do is rescue human experience. Instead of starting to say it's really insignificant, we're saying this is what we have, and it can be deepened.
But the biggest one is this receiving human beings with reverence, remembering the dignity and the glory and the miracle of human life. That's what's going to change the world. Love of human destiny.